Welcome to Auto Painting Plus. I know everybody loves the videos because you keep giving me lots of feedback and I enjoy making them. It's July 1st, 2017. We've come off of two very hot weeks. And it's also historically in the Valley a slow period for paint shops, collision shops, anybody else doing auto work. One, because it's hot, you're going to go on vacation, and a couple of things that we're going to talk about are here on the easel. And I thought I'd give you a few minutes of a lot of different subjects and break it up, things that I don't normally do. Right here with me is one of our late model loaner cars. We have a pair of these for you to use. We're not going to put you in an older car or an unsafe car or something that you're going to call me because the alternator went out or the air conditioner. If we need more of these cars, we'll get them. What we're going to try and do is make it convenient for you to get a repair. So, Auto Painting Plus. This is about myself, Tim Sr., and the business being passed on in a legacy to Tim Jr. and his family. I also want to thank his wife, Tori. She's a very good artist, and she put this together for me, and I'm very proud of her. So, let's go to the first subject. We're only going to spend a minute on these. What are my credits and interests that you and I both have? Well, my credits are that no one's painted or repaired any more cars probably on the planet than myself. I've painted tens of thousands of cars. I'm going to be 66 years old on my next birthday. I've been painting since I was 15 years old, and I was spoon-fed Cadillacs from Lund Cadillac, Legends Cadillac, Kachina Cadillac, all the John stores, whether it was two-tones or lot repair. So I learned early how to take premium expensive cars and make them look really good for you. The interest that we have is, one, to make our business grow, and two, to give the consumer something that they can't get unless they go to collision shop. Because one is, anybody that would have the experience that I have is going to be making an awful lot of money in a big collision shop. One of the best painters in the Valley is at Roger Penske's store up in Scottsdale, and all these guys are making six figures. So you're not going to get a really good painter if you go to Mako or somewhere. You're going to get a $10 to $12 an hour guy. If you have any complaints, the owner's just going to give it back to him. You're not going to get the lead painter and the guy that you want to be able to complain to, and it'll still go back to the same guy over and over and not just an employee. I'm going to paint your car, and somebody I personally trained, Tim Jr., he's going to paint your car. So we have a lot of interest in keeping it going and seeing that your cars look premium, done by a good painter. We have a lot of videos online. Everybody tells me all the time how much they love them. We get a lot of response. You can email me at paintingplus1983@gmail.com if you'd like me to make a specific video for you. But I try and touch on an awful lot of subjects, and I try and stay away from subjects that are touchy. So fading and peeling, that's why most of the cars come here. You're all driving a pickup truck, an Altima, a Honda. The upper panels, the hood, the roof, the tops of the doors, they're either fading or they're peeling and coming apart. That's what we specialize in, because we take those cars and do what we need to do to them with our processes and turn around and give you a factory look without buffing, and we're going to give you a 5-year warranty on that material for fading and peeling. So that's what you have. Boy, what about dent repair? Today, many people come to me with a lot of the older cars, your Cutlasses, your Mustangs, cars that have body work and Bondo work, pickup trucks from end to end. It's getting harder for you to find someone to repair those cars and to do it reasonable. Well, it's just as hard for myself, because I don't have any interest at my age in taking these cars and wearing my arm out end to end just because I want to block sand, fix a bunch of dents, fix rust repair. So you have the problem when you go out in the public to find those guys, and you have that problem here. We're mainly interested in painting these cars, taking care of a few dents that we know that bother you, and then moving them down the road. Color matching. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a mixing system over here in the corner for color. But color matching is not an issue when you're painting the whole car. It's only an issue if we're going to take your Suburban or your Lexus or something like that. We have a key scratch right here in the door. We're going to want to blend into this door for a perfect match, and we're going to want to blend into this fender for a perfect match. One is so that the car is resellable, and so that you feel really good about driving it. And most of the time, These warranties are not about that the material fails like a lot of you people think, but a lot of times it's a shop error. Maybe they didn't sand it really tight around all the edges that are critical, and that's where they usually peel. So that's your biggest concentration point on a lower end car. In a collision shop, they're going to take all of that apart, but the bill's going to go through the roof. Restoration, why it's tough. We just hit on that. None of these guys that are out there today, they're parts changers. They don't want to take these old cars and go end to end and do rust repair, try and make panels fit, try and find the parts that you need. It's a long, hard job, and there's fewer and fewer of them, and I have no interest in restoration. I did many, many show cars, tons of restorations in my life. Here's one over here in the corner. They get hard to get rid of, hard to find parts for. They're very heartbreaking. So we don't do very many of them. We paint a lot of them once people get ready, but we're not in the business of trying to restore your car. We're in the business of taking your daily driver, putting you in something to drive while we fix it, get it back to you in 4 or 5 days. It has a factory look to it, and a 5-year warranty. Is time important? It's important to all of us. So again, this is why we provided the cars, so you don't have to ask a mom, a brother, a sister, a wife, or a neighbor, or someone else to come get you and pick you up. I screened a couple of people about this, and one gentleman from Scottsdale, I asked him how he felt about it, and he said, well, you know what? You have the best looking thing or videos on the internet, but it seems like it's an awful long way from Scottsdale or Glendale or Surprise. But after we did all the research, you kept popping up as the best choice. I try and make the videos for you that are honest, let you see what's really going on, and they're very believable because they're truthful. Well, the loaner program, we're back to what I just talked about. We'll get more of these cars if we need them, but we're going to put you in these cars. What you should do, some people show up and just think that they're sitting here. Well, we hope that we're busy enough that they're not sitting, but what you should do is just schedule it. Most of these cars turn around in 3 or 4 or 5 work days, so it's not going to be very long, and we can put you back in it. I have a black one, and we have a white one that looks just like it. They're lettered up. We keep them clean and washed in between. We don't even ask you to put the gas back in it. We only say that if you have an accident, is that you're going to turn it into your insurance, not my insurance. Teaching, training, it's a family business. I've been working with Tim Jr. the last 10 years, and it really makes me proud. He's a very, very, very good painter. He was always good in school, always good at any of the sports we did, the racing that we did, and I'm very proud to have passed on all the tools and all of the equipment for this business to him and his family and my grandson and granddaughter on that side of the family. So it makes me feel really, really good instead of this just going away and no one takes advantage of it. Because you all have something that needs painted and you really want it painted as nice as it can be. And we're the only guys to do that. Okay, there's a downside. We all know that. To the mobile repair people, a lot of horror stories, folks. And Craigslist. We get a lot of you off of Craigslist, but Craigslist can be dangerous territory and you want to be very careful. There's a lot of scammers out there. Sometimes they even try and get us. The mobile guys, boy, you really need to look at that. I noticed that one guy had 7 ads in a row, and I looked through the ads and all he had done was change his first name from Greg to Bob to Larry to Tom. So also a lot of people come in here that have had mobile repair done and it really looks terrible. A lot of these mobile guys go out there and they'll wipe a dent with some spot putty, and then they just leave it. And they say that they're going to be back tomorrow to sand it, or that your paint shop can sand it. And all they've done is put a little stucco all over your car and taken off and made the price go way up. Hopefully you haven't given them any money, but most of you have paid them in full. Bad business. Space age paint. Boy, this is a favorite subject for me. This is at 707 South Country Club in Mesa. And you know what? Everybody ought to visit this store. It belongs to Joe Schoen, and Joe's the top dog, owns U-Haul. That's the best way to put it. But Joe has put together a store that's like going to a super center for auto paint, clips, moldings, tools. You just won't believe what you see in there. But you really ought to go, especially if you're a car nut, and just check it out. I think I will do a video and we'll go through that store. But it is something unbelievable, and there's not one other paint store in the Valley or paint group in the Valley, for those of you that are in on some of those paint groups, that can beat and touch this at all. None of you can. I guess that's it. I've got more paper, but I'm out of subjects. So the point to this is to just give you a little briefing, break it up a little bit, show you the rental car. It's hot outside. We need more customers. We want you happy. You can't go get Tim Jr.'s paint work or my paint work anywhere in the Valley. I'm going to tell you that again, unless you have a collision. Because the only really talented painters are making a lot of money in a collision shop. I've painted more cars, more luxury cars, and more show cars than anybody on the planet. And I want to paint yours. I want you to give me a call. Thank you.